You have a film here which is called Mama, right? And which is based on domestic violence. So can you tell us something about the background, the background and the backstage of the short film?
When I wanted to create this film, I needed to create a film about realism, and then because my professors insist from me that I create a film about realism, and then I start to read chronics in journals, and then I found very interesting story that happens actually in Bosnia, that one woman killed her husband, and then that she went in prison and she gave a birth, and then that woman, she lived with her daughter 3 years in prison, because I really didn't knew that this is happening, and actually this is also happening, and this is true. Later I found some friends who were interested to write a screenplay with me, and I began with 2 friends of mine, and then actually it was not going well. Then I have an opportunity to meet a great director in Sarajevo from Iran, and then he liked a lot my story and idea, and then we create a screenplay that later I filmed, and I'm happy about the film that I have made, because also it was very based on the actors, and it was also process, because that days or these months I was visiting the theaters and plays, and I was like I was checking which actors could be the right for that film. I had first casting, and some rehearsals. At the end, it was not going well. So then I needed to find other actors. Actually, the main character is Gordana Boban, which is really one of the best actresses in Bosnia. And she accepted the role. Then we were creating her character, and actually I learned a lot from her. It was a really amazing experience, because she's a woman who have more than 14 years, and she's like in film industry, in theater, more than like 30 years. And so I learned a lot. Also, the 2 young guys who are my protagonists, Emir Fejzic and Ena Kurtalic, are also amazing, because before them also I was creating story with 2 other actors, and it was not going well. So I needed to create what is very interesting with this film is because it's first my film about realism. So I had I was not so I didn't knew how I will gonna make it, because I always for me it's easy to create something that is more fantasy.
The use of colors. You said last night that you had a particular use of colors, especially at the end of it. We're not going to spoiler, okay? So no spoilers about it. But the idea of having these characters, which are a kind of everyday life, and then mother comes back and everything shatters. And you said that the colors were important, and I'm also interested in the shifting towards realism compared to your past experiences. So the use of colors, the use of image in your short film, how do they convey meaning?
Yeah, because before creating some details in film, I focus a lot on costume, and then also about the colors, the very simple things which could be very helpful for the audience to get and to understand. And colors, I use colors, especially also like in film set, to give this kind of the realism, and also especially in the end of the film, that the colors of the cars, I can say in that way, and somehow helps to audience to link with the eternity of the characters, which is actually their base characters, like love, peace, and jealousy.
I see. And I have another question also about, the props. So chairs and, the objects, because you said that you are quite interested in, small details in reality, simple objects. So can you tell us more about how you use, for instance, about chairs and the cup? There was a cup. There was a focus on a cup at a certain point. Why that? Why are you interested in those very specific little objects?
Yeah, because I don't know how I found this idea. It was like, especially maybe I had a dream about that, and then I actually start to like it, and that could be something that I could always repeat in my films, and that I could use in different kinds of ways. Depends of the story that I want to say, and. Actually, about the cup, I decided together with my screenplayer, the friend who wrote the screenplay with me, because he said it's really great. And meanwhile, I was writing a story with him, and he was always saying me, we have to write this and then later this, because we have to give like audience just a little bit, like with spoon a little bit, and then to wait. When comes the yes, exactly. So it was really its function, and the story about the cubs or cubs and cubs.
Okay, yeah.
It's also interesting because I didn't want that they finish in some open space, because they are not free.
Sure.
They are somewhere. They are in some very, like, they are locked, and they have to find their ways. How they were gonna find, and the sentence that I was saying, any kind of violence brings you bad. It's totally true, and there is no violence who can brings you something good. And this is the main reason that I actually made this one, just to point a little bit on the problems, because there is everyday violence, not only in family, also in streets, and it's really terrible. And people don't think about that, and people don't like this kind of the films, because they live these things, so they don't like to watch it. Because of that, I like to create the fantasy, because people run from their reality to enjoy in film that they don't live. So, but anyway.
Right now, so you say you switched from surrealism, let's say, from fantasy. No, I wouldn't say fantasy. I would say more imagery. So you switched from imagery and surrealism to realism. So it's kind of your evolving in your personal experience as a filmmaker. So can you tell us a little bit about what were your previous experiences?
Yeah, my previous films also talks about my hometown, Srebrenica, where I actually spent my childhood, and where my childhood was like, how to say, stopped in some moment because of the war, of the genocide that happens in Srebrenica, of a lot of people. Actually, I'm happy, and maybe I'm lucky that I survived all of that, because there were a lot of children who actually were killed during the war, innocent, and I was lucky to survive, and I had possibility to see all this catastrophe or horror film, and maybe also I make some like. After some of my films are linked with Srebrenica, but in sense that there is still life, and that's my like idea, that that I want to create films that shows that there is still life, even if it happens war, even if it happens a lot of terrible things, and a lot of friends ask me when I will gonna make war film about Srebrenica because they believe that I could make the best film about that. I agree, but maybe I still I'm not still like able. I need maybe time to grow up a little bit, and then to in this time. Meanwhile, I'm making other things, and I'm enjoying life.
Would you like to go on create short films, or do you have projects for longer film?
Okay, I want to say about my hometown. It's always like it will be always in my heart and part of me. And I don't know, maybe I don't know. Maybe it's ridiculous to say that I'm lucky also that I survived the war. It's I wish no one survive war, and nobody to happen this to any country, because it's situation that actually, I don't know, you think just to have peace, and that you have like to drink water or to have piece of the bread to eat. I mean, you don't think today when I see people are not happy even if they have everything, and this is, I mean, for me is I don't know. For me, it's funny. These things are funny. I cannot say that this is sad for me, because I'm laughing when I see people that they are not satisfied with their life, and they have everything, and they are not ill.
Sure.
And I'm continuing to make short films. 7 days ago, I create my new film, because now I study at Centro Sperimentale di Cinematografia in Rome, because thanks to Film Mama, thanks to all my crew that worked with me on that film, this film actually helped me in somehow that I be accepted at this prestigious film academy. And I just created a new short film, but in future I want to make also feature films, and I'm still preparing. I have some ideas, little ideas, not little. I wrote a lot, and I'm keeping writing, and so yeah, in future we will expect some like a great film. I want to make great film.